Good morning, children. This is your maths teacher Amrita Banerjee. Now, children, in the last video, we have completed the explanation of all the questions of exercise 1.1. Now, children, in this video, we will be discussing the further topics. So, our next topic is, children, properties of addition and subtraction of integers. Okay. So, we will be discussing about the few properties of integers which are applicable on the addition and subtraction operation. So, let us begin. Children, a very first property, it is the closure property of addition. Now, what is this closure property of addition, children? This closure property of addition means that suppose A and B are two integers and we have added them and we get the value C. So, if A is integer, B is integer, then the result will also be a integer, children. Now, integers are represented by Z sign. That's why I have written Z over here. Okay. So, this is the closure property. So, let us see an example. Suppose 4 is an integer and 2 is an integer. So, when 4 and 2, two positive integers get added up, so we get 6. So, 4 is an integer, 2 is an integer, and the resultant 6 is also an integer, children. So, this is the closure property of addition. Next, children, the next property we have, it is closure property of subtraction. Now, what is this closure property of subtraction, children? It means that suppose A is integer and B is integer. So, when A and B are getting subtracted, so the result C will also be an integer, children. Okay. So, when two integers get subtracted to each other, the result that we get is also an integer. So, integers are closed under subtraction and integers are closed under addition. This is what we say. Okay. So, now let us take an example. Suppose we have taken 4 minus 2. So, children, 4 is a positive integer, 2 is a positive integer. So, 4 minus 2 will give us 2. So, this is now also an integer. Okay. Now, this is the subtraction operation of the positive integer. Let us take a negative integer, children. Okay. So, now 5 minus of minus 3. So, here two subtraction operations are there. So, it will get converted to plus operation. So, we will get 8. So, children, 5 was an integer, minus 3 was an integer, and the result 8 is also an integer, children. Okay, so this is the closure property of subtraction for integers. Fine. Next, children, we have the property that is called commutative property. Now, what is this commutative property, children? This means that for addition first we will discuss. So, children, when two integers a plus b are added, so that is equals to your b plus a. That means if we do 4 plus 5 or we do 5 plus 4, both will give us the same result, isn't it? So, we say that integers follow the commutative property. Okay, so addition is commutative for integers. Addition is commutative for integers. Okay. So, this is for the addition, children. Now, we will discuss for the subtraction. Now, children, suppose I am subtracting two integers. Suppose it is a minus b. That will not be equal to b minus a, children. Okay. When I am doing a minus b, it is not necessary that b minus a will also give the same result. So, let us see an example. Suppose 5 minus of minus 3 I did. Let my a be 5 and b be minus 3. So when I did 5 minus of minus 3, I get 5 plus 3, that is 8. Okay. Now this is this side. Now let us check this b minus a. So b was minus 3 minus of 5. So I get minus 3 minus 5 minus 8. So children, LHS gives positive 8 and RHS gives negative 8. Okay. So this shows that A minus B is not necessarily equals to B minus A. So what do we say? In this situation, when we have A minus B is not equals to B minus A, so we say that subtraction is not commutative for integers. Okay? Is not commutative for integers. Now children, we have the next property, and the name of the property is associative property. Now what is this associative property, children? Associative property is applicable on more than two terms, children. Okay. Suppose I have A plus B plus C. So it will be equal to A plus B plus C. That means when three integers are supposed to be added, we are discussing it for the addition operation. So when three integers are supposed to be added, they can add it in any format. Either A plus and B plus C to be added together, or A plus B added together and C to be added separately. We are going to get same result for both of these. Let us take an example. Suppose A is minus 5, B is minus 3 and C is minus 2. So let us check. Minus 5 plus minus 3 plus minus 2. So what do we get? Minus 5 plus minus 5. It will be minus 10 for this side. Similarly, children, for our RHS, let us consider minus 5 plus minus 3 and plus minus 2 over here. So minus 5 minus 3 is minus 8 plus minus 2, so it is minus 10. So children, LHS also gives minus 10 and RHS also gives minus 10. So we get LHS equals to RHS. Okay. So what do we get? That integers addition is associative for integers. Okay. Addition is associative for integers. But children, unlike of this addition, subtraction is not associative. That means subtraction will not give us the same result. Is not associative. Now subtraction property is not discussed in your book, so we will not be discussing it. Okay. Now we will only be, you are supposed to learn that subtraction is not associative for integers. Next, children, we have the property that is called the additive identity. Now what is this additive identity, children? We will see. Additive identity means when any integer is added with 0, we get the integer itself. Either it is any negative integer or it is any positive integer. In both the cases, children, we get the integer itself. So it is called additive identity of 0. That means when 0 is added to any integer, it gets the integer itself. It gets its identity itself. Okay. So 0 is the only term which when added to integer, it gives the integer itself. So children, these are the few properties of integers which will be applicable in our next exercise. So we have discussed this. Now in the next video, children, we will be doing our exercise 1.2. Hope you have understood. Thank you so much, children.